Hey everybody, it's Rich here coming to you, Leaving MAGA, leavingmaga.org. Time for another Ask Me Anything. We had so many questions. Really appreciate how much engagement we've had. Thank you all for your questions and your comments. Again, we're going to be doing these on a regular basis. Got a bunch of questions, so let's get right into it here. First question. Thank you for this and just found your page. I'm sure you already answered before, but don't you believe a lot of his following is based on their emotions? So MAGA is not a fact-based community. It is almost wholly emotional and conformist, and most in MAGA have unfortunately been traumatized by years of lies and falsehoods. Next question. Someone here commented that you think MAGA is not a cult. How do you think that? So MAGA is not a cult because someone can ultimately leave. And I caution against calling it a cult because saying that will push someone deeper into MAGA. We want to extract people from MAGA, especially those who are having doubts. Next question. Why MAGA in the first place? I think this is a pretty complicated topic that I want to try to break down in the simplest terms as I can. MAGA provided me a community, camaraderie, and a sense of gathering purpose and belonging. And the gravitational pull of the community cannot be underestimated and is the primary reason for staying in MAGA. We founded Leaving MAGA to provide a new purpose and community. So I'm often asked, what are the benefits of having left MAGA emotionally and spiritually? Leaving empowers someone to reclaim their identity and individuality, live a life of truth, heal from the trauma of their MAGA experiences and propaganda, and perhaps as important as anything else, reconcile with their friends and family. Next question. Does the original Republican Party still exist, or is it one and the same as MAGA? I'm on the left. I remember not so long ago when Republicans were still people who cared about the country but had different views. When I was in MAGA, we fantasized about killing off the GOP and supplanting it with the MAGA party, and that has been accomplished. And unfortunately, the GOP has shown that they will allow Trump to do whatever it is that he wants. Next question. Are you still a Republican? I am not a Republican. I have not been one for several years. I'm also not a Democrat. I am registered to vote, but I'm registered with no party. But I do want to say this past November, I did serve as a co-chair for Republicans for Harris down here in the state of Florida, and I did vote blue up and down the ballot. The way the current Republican Party is now, which is really a MAGA party, I will not vote for probably ever anyone in this Republican Party, and I'm committed to voting blue up and down the ballot, even though I am a registered independent. Next question. Are you receiving traitor accusations? Yes, and in addition to those accusations, that I was never MAGA or that I was never a Trump voter, I also receive accusations that I am a paid Democratic operative funded by the party and funded by foreign countries, to which I ask, where is all this money that I have allegedly made? But in all seriousness, here are some examples of some of the hate that we receive from people who are in MAGA. For many of those in the MAGA community, it is impossible to believe that someone who was in MAGA could have possibly changed their mind, walked away, and left MAGA. And I think it goes to show just how narrow a lot of the thinking is in MAGA. And one of the reasons for that is because any information that refutes any of the beliefs of MAGA is shunned. And so it results in people making these kinds of accusations about being a paid operative and being funded by foreign nations and being and trying to portray oneself as having once been MAGA. My MAGA bona fides are well documented and are quite public. So unfortunately, this is kind of the hate we do receive. We also do receive some hate occasionally from people who are not MAGA, who want those who have left to face some dire consequences for their choices. And we do regret our decision to have been in MAGA, and we are working to make amends. But we would ask everyone out there who's not in MAGA that when people leave, we can either shun them or we can embrace them. And if we want to actually protect our democracy, then I would ask you to consider offering grace to people who change their minds and seek genuine penitence. And finally, last but not least question, will you admit that Trump is a compulsive liar? In a video testimonial of mine that aired last year at the Democratic National Convention, I said that Trump's toxic superpower is lying. There is nothing, small, medium, or large, that he will not lie about. And leaving MAGA means no longer living a life shaped by falsehoods and by lies.